Hi, everybody. Joe Cioffi here. Weather in 5 days in 5 minutes. Coming up tonight on the Joe and Joe Weather Show podcast. We'll take a look at the weather for the week ahead. And we have potential tropical cyclone 9 in the Western Caribbean. And that looks like it's going to become a hurricane and maybe even a major hurricane when it heads into the Eastern Gulf over the next couple of days. So we'll update you on all the latest with that. And of course, the weather in the rest of the country, and that's tonight on the Joe and Joe Weather Show podcast at 7:35 p.m. Eastern Time. We're going to start off with the local weather. We'll save the tropical cyclone stuff for the end. The weather around the nation is actually pretty quiet. We've had this ongoing coastal flooding issue from southern New England down to eastern Virginia now for the better part of 4 days. We're probably going to extend it at least for another two or 3 days because of this persistent onshore flow that we've been dealing with. So there's minor to moderate coastal flooding that's going to occur at the high tides from now, probably into Wednesday. But thankfully, we don't have a big ocean storm near the coast to really exacerbate the flooding. We do have, however, a storm that's offshore. If you remember, over the weekend, we've had this weather system that's been stuck southeast of Cape Cod. Well, it's finally drifted out to the south and east, but that also, being further east, has allowed this upper trough and cold front that runs from upstate New York, southwestward through Ohio and Indiana, and then extends back through Missouri and into parts of Oklahoma. There is the shower and thunderstorm activity that'll break out from Oklahoma and Arkansas northeastward into Kentucky and Tennessee, but we're not worried about that. There are some showers with this leading edge of the trough as it moves through, and getting reports now of some light rain around. You can check it out on the radar here, and this is as of 1:25 p.m. Eastern Time. Uh, some of this is not reaching the ground, some of it is, and not all of you are participating in this. These showers are sort of creeping along there. They extend into upstate New York and into northwestern New England. Meanwhile, as we look back on the southern edge of that cold front, we've got some downpours in Illinois, southern Indiana, and the beginnings of maybe some showers and thunderstorms out to the west in southwest Missouri, back down into Oklahoma, and also what could be an area of showers and storms from Arkansas down into North Texas. So they seem to be to south of the Dallas-Fort Worth area. Radars in the rest of the eastern United States are rather quiet. Also in the west, it's quiet. We've got some showers moving through the Dakotas, but other than that, things are rather calm. Storm Prediction Center today: marginal risk from northern Arkansas and southeast Missouri across northern Tennessee and Kentucky into western North Carolina. We don't have any thunderstorm risk indicated for the Northeast with this weak system moving through, although we do have some general thunderstorm activity possible for western New York and western Pennsylvania down into Ohio, West Virginia, and Virginia. Although, again, the radars, at least for right now, are on the silent side. Now, as far as rainfall is concerned, we've got another weather front that's going to come through on Wednesday, and that is going to produce rain, but it's not going to produce a whole lot of rain. We're talking generally a quarter of an inch or less, an exception though, maybe for northern New Jersey and the Hudson Valley, where it could be a quarter to a half. And then you get west of I-81, and you're talking three-quarters of an inch to an inch and a half there. Remember, these are 7-day rainfall amounts. The big story is going to be in the southeast, the Tennessee and lower Ohio Valley, back to the middle Mississippi Valley, down south to the Florida coast and the North Florida coast, and then extending southward through the state of Florida. We have to deal with this potential tropical cyclone, and we're talking about at least uh, several to 6 inches, some places 6 inches or more in the lighter brown areas or the higher amounts. The inch and a half extends up into western Virginia and into northern Kentucky and central Indiana, central Illinois, back over through Missouri into eastern Kansas and down into Arkansas. And we expect that this will be changing as we see how this potential tropical cyclone takes hold. And speaking of which, This is what it looks like on today's latest run of the GFS model. We think it probably will be a tropical storm by Tuesday morning, and it could very well be a hurricane by the time we get to Tuesday night. The GFS wants to sort of clip it to the northeast coast of Mexico, and then moving it northeast from there to the upper portion of the Florida Big Bend area. Could be a little bit further west than that. What's going to make this a very different type of cyclone, type of hurricane, is the fact that we have this large upper low, and you can see it here dropping down Tuesday into Wednesday into Missouri and Arkansas, and that's going to interact with this tropical system in a couple of ways. One is it's going to drive it northeastward rather than westward and kick it up into the Florida panhandle. The second thing is that it probably will slow the weakening process as it moves northward. So the track inland is going to be rather critical, because if you're east of that track, you're going to wind up with tropical storm force winds that could very well push all the way up into northern Georgia, northwestern South Carolina, and western North Carolina. There also are implications regarding where the landfall is in terms of tidal surge, and just exactly what are we going to be dealing with when this comes to fruition. So this is the Hurricane Center's forecast track on there. This is the first forecast they put out at 11 a.m. Eastern time. They have it as a tropical storm by Tuesday morning. And again, a hurricane as it passes very close to the northeast tip of the Yucatan Peninsula, a north-northeast course from there, accelerating. That's another thing the upper low is going to do. This is going to start to accelerate northeastward through the Gulf of Mexico. So we're looking at potential landfall here sometime Tuesday afternoon, or maybe early Tuesday evening at the late Thursday afternoon rather, into early Thursday evening at the latest. Still as a tropical storm Friday morning in northeast Georgia, and then it's going to hook back northwestward. We feel pretty confident of this, given what the upper air looks like. And that means that, yeah, the rain might get as far north as North Carolina and maybe southwestern Virginia, and then back over to the Ohio Valley. But the northeast and northern mid-Atlantic states, for the most part, will not be getting much of this at all. And here's what it looks like on the satellite loop. We're seeing convection continuing to increase. It doesn't yet have a well-defined center, which is why it's not a tropical depression or a tropical storm yet. Winds are generally at 30 miles an hour for the top winds, but everything here, when we look at the loop, shows signs that this is organizing and will strengthen. And as far as the track models are concerned and the intensity model guidance, which is what I have up on the screen right now, a lot of the models, virtually all of them, make it a hurricane. Quite a few of them make it a category 2 into a category 3, and we've got two of those models actually making this a category 4 hurricane by the time we reach 72 hours. So this would be sometime later Wednesday or Wednesday night. And the model track guidance is very tightly clustered. It's also to the left or to the west of what the GFS has. The GFS is probably at where the easternmost track is in the green, but the cluster is sitting maybe about 50 or 60 miles further west than that. And again, this is a track that I'm particularly concerned about. If it follows the cluster and runs up northward through western Georgia, anybody east of the center is going to be experiencing tropical storm force winds, even well inland, heavy rains, and there probably will be a rather robust potential for severe weather along and east of the track of the storm as it moves inland. So we'll be monitoring this obviously quite carefully, and we'll finish off. I'm going to just show you what the surface looks like on the wide USA map here, and with respect to the Northeast. So here's our system today, weakening this afternoon and tonight. Then we get this next front for Wednesday that brings showers and maybe a rumble or two of thunder. Might linger around into Thursday, but another high builds in southeastern Canada, and that effectively blocks the tropical system and the rains from it from moving northward. The model seems to want to indicate that the moisture from this is gradually going to fall apart from the Appalachians and the mid-Atlantic states west into the lower Mississippi Valley, and then it just fades out as we head toward and through the weekend. But if this is correct, once we get this weather front through here in the Northeast, Thursday looks good, Friday looks good, so does Saturday, and so does Sunday. So just a minor interruption in this rather long duration dry pattern that we've been in now for 15 days. And again, we're getting at least a little bit of rain here, so that sort of breaks the streak in eastern Pennsylvania to southern New England. So don't forget, folks, all of this gets updated tonight on the Joe and Joe Weather Show podcast at 7:35 p.m. Eastern Time. Mark it down. We'll see you then.